We're here for a good time, not a long time, with Shaun Chipperfield and Kristi Caulfield. This will be played at a real pace. Hopefully they can bring the best out of each other and we can see some fantastic pool, because when these two are on it, there really isn't too many players you'd rather sit and watch. It's an excellent opening break from Kristi. If that's been his norm this weekend, no surprise to see him go so well. These two should be some of the more rested players in the entire tournament, really. They both came through the winner's side, and they both play so quickly. They've spent a lot this weekend just relaxing. A lot of the players at this point in the competition have played a lot of loser-sized matches and will feel like they've barely been off the table. But these two, by contrast, have flown through the tournament. Oh, that's a poor shot, Kristi. I don't think you can believe what he's done. Played an excellent first shot, and from there it looked like it was absolute drop-ins. And he couldn't quite get through to the one over the middle pocket to kick it. That's a big opening chance for Shaun Chipperfield. We'll take another look at that if we can. It's a strange shot from Kristi. Yeah, he was just trying to avoid the yellow, and he's or maybe go into it full ball to hold the cue ball and got a little bit too thin a contact, move the white. He's trying to hold to the red to the opposite middle. Either way, it's a jarring mistake early on. It's the sort of mistake you can make in an early frame, but the way these two have been playing so far in this tournament, we've just not seen many of them from these two. Shaun Chipperfield with a fairly routine finish from here. Just comes round to dot his I's and cross his T's. It's just okay. Stephen Jameson, Tony Holgate here with you on the commentary for this one, into the last 8 of the Players' Championships. Winner of this goes into the semi-finals.
Nice little shot there from Chippy. In very high spirits this morning while speaking to Shaun. Likes the venue, likes the tables. He's in his happy place this morning, so I fully expect Shaun to go very, very well today. He's going to take some ousting.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a few players you can say that of. You look at the last 16 results, the majority of them were won 2-0.
Yeah.
I think that says we're going to have a quarter-final lineup of players pretty bang in form.
Yeah, I fully expect this evening when we get to the semi-finals, there's going to be some fireworks out there. I mean, we've still got the defending champion in John McAllister, who is looking ominous. Declan Brennan, absolutely playing brilliantly. If anybody just missed it, he just beat Dom Cooney in the match before.
Yeah, in fact, Tony, how about this? 8 last 16 matches, only 1 went to a third set.
Incredible. We're quite a few going the full distance in the early part of the tournament. But I think the ones that are really in form are just starting to sort of pull away a bit now. The seasoned players where they start to go through the gears and they seem to know when to, let's say, rev their engines a little bit towards the business end of the tournament. Chippy just preferred a cue ball a little bit better. A little bit of a huff and a puff there. He's going to change his route. He's going to just drop this into the middle. Get on the yellow into the bottom right-hand corner, and he'll have to play that yellow that's near the rail last, which is not what he wanted to do. It's going to be a big shot here to get on the 8-ball. He'd like to be dead straight on this and just so he could just screw the cue ball back past the middle, but he has an angle. Now, does he come off that side rail to the left-hand side rail and try to get it on in the middle? That's exactly what he's tried to do. He'd love to have that dead straight. This is tricky, but it does go into the right-hand centre. Oh, great shot from Chippy. That's a great finish.
Yeah, absolutely excellent.
Not easy at all. Just amazing how Shaun just gets down. I mean, that's a tough pot. And I used to play quickly, and I'd have took an extra bit of time over that into the middle, and he still exactly the rinse and repeat, the one sort of warm-up strike, bang.
Yeah, just rolls it in, doesn't he? Just
no
makes
problem.
It look so simple. He's
right in the heart of the pocket, thank you.
He's phenomenal for that. I've never seen another, Q Sports player, ever do that. That is pretty unique. And, like a lot of sort of kind of players who are very natural, you ask Shaun about it, and he can't really tell you how or why he does it, because it is his natural game. Let's check in while we're talking about that on the other arena here. This is Craig-Waddingham against Callum Singleton. Callum has quite literally got his pipe and slippers out in his opposite chair.
I said he's like in the study today now playing this match.
Yeah, absolutely. He's dealing with an ingrown toenail, Callum Singleton, I can tell you. So he's exempt from wearing the sort of shoes that we'd usually expect out there in the arena. So he's got smart black socks on, and that's his method for one tournament only. Craig-Waddingham about to dish him up here, though, for the advantage in this quarter-final. He's already 1 set to good, is Craig. This is for 1-0 in set 2, as he looks to get his work done early and secure another ultimate pool semi-final. The Silver Sniper is on the move again. Look at 𝗪𝗁𝗃𝗲𝗍 with his personalised smart rack.
Oh dear.
That's when you know you've made it as a referee.
Your own personal. Didn't even know he had his own personal smart rack.
Well, when you're as good a referee as 𝗪𝗁𝗃.
And that he is. Is he the only referee that has their own personal smart rack, or does 𝗪𝗁𝗃𝗲𝗍 have one?
I reckon they might all do. There's a really good core of referees. We're very lucky to be blessed with them.
Absolutely.
Ultimate Pool, the International Referees Organisation, look after our matches wonderfully. There is the man himself, the ref. And I think we've got a delay here. I think Shaun Chipperfield's just stepped out the arena. I'm hearing. We're going to head back to the other arena whilst we wait for the return of Shaun Chipperfield. Craig-Waddingham breaking off and breaking dry. So Callum Singleton then with the opportunity to get himself on level terms in the other quarter-final on at the moment.
And Shaun Chipperfield has returned, and it's Kristi Caulfield breaking off frame 2. Sorry, should I say frame 3? Flying by.
Yeah, they still do that to you.
Yeah.
That's an excellent break from Kristi. Said it in his first break. He hit his first break like an absolute sledgehammer. You can almost see why he's done well this weekend, because his break's been so powerful. That one he actually lost control of a little bit, but the power is there for all to see, really. Absolutely mullering it.
Lovely shot there from Kristi as well. Pots that red, knocks the black right over the middle bag now, so that's not an issue anymore. And everything else is, well, dangling, ready to be potted. Dug fairly deep there, Kristi. Three balls over the pockets. And this will be the first frame on the board for Kristi. Down goes the black ball. And it's now 2-1. And these two players will, like you say, fly through the frames.
Yeah, it's up to 𝗪𝗁𝗃𝗲𝗿 to just keep up with them. One of the few sort of pairs of players that even if this was on an outside table, this match would take the same amount of time. They really are not bothered by the set and shot clocks. They just play at a rhythm, and it really is great to watch. What have we got? Not loads. First ball's an issue here for Chippy.
He's taking on the yellow into the centre. Thin cut.
It was missable.
Yeah.
You don't often see many misses from Shaun Chipperfield. That one really was not easy.
And the problem with this miss is it's left it wide open for Kristi.
Yeah,
So
and you can see with the way he's played that if you just ask Shaun Chipperfield to pot that ball, he wouldn't really have too much of a problem. But it's the fact that he feels like he's got to try and get it on the thick part of the pocket to get some kind of control into the white. Because if you play it at a natural pace into the middle of the pocket there, the cue ball's flying around. You've got no real control over that at all. Tough first shot to leave, really. As Kristi thumps that one in down the rail.
yeah, he doesn't care. He likes to thump a ball down a rail.
Yeah, he doesn't mind, does he?
No, he doesn't mind a bit of brute force. Such a talented player. Great to watch, as both these are. Gets rid of the plant.
What was he
Hello.
landing? Oh, that turned a little bit on a finger mark or something. Is he yeah, he's okay on the one to the right centre. He's got a little lucky.
I'm not sure. I think he might have to go in the corner.
Maybe. I think you might be right.
Well, if he's touching, no, he can get through, can he? If he's touching, he certainly can't.
This is tough all of a sudden. He's played a great shot.
Yeah, I think you don't risk that, because I think if he tried to go in the middle with it, he risked glancing that yellow. He's very close to it. It would have taken the cue ball off track, and he could have missed the ball into the middle. So took on the harder pot, made it. And now nothing in the way for Kristi. And in goes the 8 ball. And we are now level at 2-all in this opening set. Shaun Chipperfield had first dibs. Had a very thin cut into the middle with that yellow. Hit far jaw. And was duly punished to the hilt by the Irishman. Just checking his tip.
Yeah, it's still the same as it was last time he broke. You can see, this is what I mean about 𝗨𝘃𝗀𝗃 just has to keep up with these two. They're just so raring to go, just constantly.
Yep.
Hurry up, bang. Just needs to control his cue ball, Kristi. Power will take care of itself, that's the one. Oh, that's a tough dry. That's a really tough dry. It's the best break he's hit in the match.
Yeah, left an easy start as well for Shaun.
Yeah, that's brutal.
I love the way Kristi's looking at the table. Just he's trying to body swerve a couple of balls in. And then the deflated sort of slump. Oh, great reactions there from Kristi.
Hit the gap, that'll do. Not sure if he was playing for that gap, but if he was, he's threaded the needle.
I think he's come a tad too far there. As Shaun Chipperfield got the double though if he wants to take it into the middle. In fact, I think he has to play the double into the middle. I don't think he's got any choice if he wants to get anywhere near this finish. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to hit the jaw and come out. Ooh, wiped its feet.
They've been funny, the doubles, all weekends. Just not playing what we're used to seeing, if you like. Different conditions here in Red Hill, and they are straightening quite a bit. Even with a slow pace from Shaun Chipperfield there, that one really straightened up on him. He's judged that one well.
He's got a nice little angle here, just get the cue ball out off the rail. Put a bit of check side on that. Just drops this in, black in the middle. And this for 3-2 to Chippy. In it goes. And another very quick frame. And it will be Shaun to break next after Kristi broke dry. Lot of tip checking going on in the arena today.
Oh, and these two play. They're so used to just fizzing around, actually having to sit around and wait for the referee to rack the balls. They're probably a little bit lost for what to do. Back on Shaun's break, 3-2. Didn't get all of that. And I think he's got away with not leaving anything.
Two dry breaks in a row for these pair. And everything hinges on whether Kristi Caulfield can get through to the red in the middle, and he obviously can't. So he's elected just to basically put Chippy in where he left himself.
Yeah, and he's done a good job there. Didn't want to leave a touching ball, and didn't want to leave the red on to the middle pocket.
Yeah. What odds are we going to get on seeing these two having a tactical battle?
Yeah, pretty long. But they just have to wait. There's no benefit. That's a nice shot from Kristi.
The one thing is, though, JMO, the first sniff of a pot.
Oh, yeah, it's going.
It won't be too long now because the options are very limited now to keep safe.
Yeah, Shaun's won the tactical battle, you feel, because they were always going to want to play those balls away, and it was always a game of cat and mouse. The last one to play away, he's not going for this, is he?
Of course he is. This is
be
Kristi, I go for everything Caulfield.
This would be a hell of a shot.
He's going down in the bottom corner, cue up in the air. Oof.
Not to be. That was tough.
Yeah.
Really tough.
And I think he's resigned to the fact he's just completely opened up yellows there for Shaun Chipperfield as well.
Well, it was ultimately a deciding shot, that from there from Kristi. He knows if he makes it, he can win the frame, and he knows if he misses it, he's almost certainly losing it.
Well, he looked at that, and I'm with Kristi there because I don't think it was a very good safety, in fairness. I think he thought, well, I can play a bad safety, or I can have a go, and if I do get that big pot, I might be able to win the frame, but it's certainly looking like Mr. Chipperfield is going to get himself 4-2 in front in this opening set. Nice use of some running side there. He contemplated playing the ball in the centre, but he switched him. Look on the yellow into the corner, even though he was slightly hampered up with that red, but perfect position again. And this frame is over. Shaun is going to have a 2-frame cushion and be on the hill in the opening set. It's almost blasé the way that Shaun knocks these balls in.
Yeah, and it goes 1 frame away from the first set for Chippy. We'll check in over on the other table. Craig Waddingham is flying Callum Singleton. Every time we've headed over to this table, we felt like we've watched Callum in that chair. He's 3-0 down in set 2, and he may well be about to go 4-0 in front, is the Silver Sniper. He has got a fiddly little finish here. Still very much hope for Callum in this frame, but it pretty much all comes down to that shot. Maybe come back to it in a moment. As Kristi breaks off, he was in off all day there.
He was, those two balls popped it.
But he's got a great chance when he comes to the table.
See his cue bend into the cloth as he breaks.
So let's check back in on Waddingham and Singleton. So Waddingham's played his shot. He's not developed that yellow, and Singleton is going to get a go, and these have to go for Singu to stay in the tournament, you feel. 3-0 down in the second set, already a set down. Callum Singleton has to find something there against Craig Waddingham. We're back with the main table and Kristi Caulfield at the table to save his set 1 skin. That is short. He can reroute if he wants, but he is going to take this one next. It's a lot thinner than he wanted to be. He's a little bit wary of that 8 ball. He's played he played a decent shot there.
Perfectly done. Kicks the cue ball away from the rail after this, and he's got a natural roll in with his last red. Black hanging over the centre pocket. And he's hanging on in there in this set, Kristi Caulfield. This is 4-3 in this really slow match.
Well, these two are the definition of that Aussie phrase, we're not here to spiders. They really do just fly around. I reckon we've had as much time having referee racks than it is both players at the table.
Yeah, I agree.
And Callum has missed a red, which has given 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 a double here for 4-0. This is horrible, but it's essentially a free go, really. He shouldn't be at the table. And he's nailed it.
That's a brilliant shot, because he's had to check that as well, because if that's not a plain ball double.
No, absolutely not. That could be the dagger in that quarter-final. In it flies, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 4-0 in front in set 2. He is on the brink of the final 4 as Chipperfield breaks off. Back here on the TV table. Got his cue ball right again. It's always a really good sign for Chippy, that, if his cue ball's good in his break. But how long he sticks with that remains to be seen, because the last 2 times he's nailed his cue ball, he's not made a ball. Previous frame, he won a very small tactical battle against Kristi, ended up winning the frame. On this occasion, it's Kristi straight in at these reds.
Oh, we didn't want that bump on the yellow. He's okay. That could have gone horribly wrong there.
Wants it to sit. Yeah, that's nice. Now, he usually likes to pump these in up the rail, Kristi Caulfield, but he can just roll this. Lovely little line for him.
He wants to make sure he gets past the bolt line.
Yeah.
With the cue ball. That's nice. And if he was short of that bolt line, the cue ball's then travelling towards those 2 yellows at the top, which would make it really, really difficult. So now
I quite like the way that, I mentioned that he's a punchy player. He doesn't really like to roll balls in. And on that one, he's almost played dead centre of the cue ball, so he can still strike through it properly. Obviously, with a lighter white, it's just going to track forward. Yeah, that's nice from Kristi. 4-all. 4-all, and we still have over 10 minutes left on the set clock. This is the decider.
Incredible.
These two are great.
Chippy unmoved. He was 4-2 up. His usual shirts, so he always has yellow and green. Chippy for Norwich City.
Yeah, big Norwich City fan, even despite their season. I was chatting to him about that yesterday. Not had the greatest of times this year. Always next season.
Well, Kristi has got himself into the position of being able to break off in this deciding frame of this first set.
And he's got a ball, but where's the cue ball? Wow.
Oh, he's absolutely fuming.
I mean, can you blame him?
No, I can't, because
how on earth has that gone in? Look at that cue ball.
It's the face when he realises it's going in. He looked at the angle. Oh, you got a feel for Kristi there.
That is one of the more brutal in-offs I think I've ever seen, because he actually hit the middle of the back cushion.
Yeah. That is so unlucky. Really, really is. Chippy just having a look to see if that red passes past the yellow into the bottom left, the one that's near the black. And it didn't, so he's moved it. And that's a very good shot there from Shaun. Couple of ways he can go here. Doesn't want that yellow too close to the black. Oh my God. I think he stuck it right on top of the 8 ball. Does he have an angle? Can he just play this red and kick into the 8 now and land on the other red? Oh, he's kicked into yellow and black.
Wow.
It had to be the 8 ball clean there just to leave him on the red, and he's just caught the yellow as well, and now he's found himself in a bit of a sticky position here. And Kristi Caulfield might feel he's going to get a go.
Or is he?
He is.
Yeah, he is. Massive.
Not only that, he's left him on the yellow into the centre. Now he can kick into the other yellow that's near that side rail. Chippy would be very unhappy with that bump he had. And Kristi Caulfield, after his very unlucky in off the break, finds himself with such a great chance here to actually get this opening set. It's been an incredible standard of pool.
I can watch these two play for hours, which you almost never will do, because we'll never put a race on long enough required for them to play for hours. These two could play a race to 50, it'd probably be over in a couple. I remember last season, Kristi Caulfield had a match with Chris Melling. I think it was the British Open, it was a race to 10, finished 10-8. It was all done in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's madness.
Sometimes players just bring out the best in each other, and I think these two can do that a little bit. But Kristi Caulfield is going to win the first set in the quarter-final. Shaun Chipperfield had his chance and missed it, and Kristi Caulfield cashes in to lead 1-0 in the quarter-final. Back underway in the Players' Championship quarter-final. Shaun Chipperfield, sadly for him, almost picking up right where he left off at the end of the last frame. He'd have hoped probably that the break in between the two sets, just giving him a couple of minutes just to reset, maybe stall the momentum after that last big error in the deciding frame in set 1. But no, he comes straight back out and goes straight in off the frame after. That's a tough one to take, and Kristi Caulfield gets first go in set 2. Just some housekeeping for you. In the time that Kristi Caulfield won the first set here, 𝗏𝗏𝗃 won his second set in the other quarterfinal against Callum Singleton. Callum Singleton is out. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 is an Ultimate Pool semi-finalist once again. First time in 2025 for the Silver Sniper. He awaits the winner of this in the final 4.
Kristi just now looking where he wants to leave the cube. He's just going to drop this red into that centre pocket, and then a gentle cut down the rail with the black ball. And this for the first frame in set 2. He already has set 1 under his belt. Just got to be careful with this. Makes the black just the same. There is Kristi Caulfield now with the opening frame in set 2. Yeah, and a decent advantage this now for Kristi. Not many players can pull off a self-portrait on the back of their own shirt, but Kristi can. Shaun Chipperfield looks like a semi-beaten man right now, but don't let it fool you. It's often his demeanour sat in his chair. Slightly different game once he gets to the table. He might still be pondering not winning that final frame in set one. That is an absolute monstrous break there from Kristi Caulfield.
Kristi's breaking like a train. Really is breaking well. He's not always had the cue ball, but more times than not, I'd say he has. But the power in his break is massive.
Ideally, he would have liked to just slid past that yellow, but he'll now have to leave that red that's next to the black ball till last. Has he landed a bit straight? Wanted a little bit of angle so he could bring that cue ball out down towards sort of the middle of the table for that last red. But if he's straight, he's going to be going towards that top corner. He's going to leave himself a longer shot with his last red. And I think just for Kristi, all he wants is clear view of it with his potting. Same as Shaun Chipperfield, both these players. As long as they can have clear sight, they fancy themselves to pot it.
Oh.
Well, he's forced the angle there, but he's got that cue ball very close to the cushion, and that makes this pot a heck of a lot harder.
Sort of shot that you're quite pleased to be playing on a Ras and Apollo here. Just slides in off the far jaw. Much tougher shot on the old Supremes when you've got the higher rail and the little bobbles and all the rest of it. It's a lot smoother. This 8 ball needs making.
Goes up at the top corner.
Never in doubt. Heart the pocket for Kristi Caulfield. Rapid start to set 2. 2 frames to 0 in front. Let's take a look at the other table. This quarter-final, semi-final, no, quarter-final. Got lost there for a second. This is Declan the Destroyer against John McAllister. Last 8 match between these two. Declan already is a frame up, and he's at the table in frame 2. It's still very much the first set.
What a clash that is.
Yeah, that's serious. Defending champion running into probably, for what I can make out, the player of the tournament so far. Of all the players I've seen, Declan looks the sharpest.
And I'd agree with you. Not often, but on this occasion
rare.
I will.
Yeah, I'll take that. Take that to the bank. All right, Shaun Chipperfield breaking off, and he needs something to go his way off this break. Looks like he's cut breaking. Needs a ball, gets a ball. Oh, what a good split. What a lovely split. What helps for these two? I mean, obviously they play quickly, and they would anyway. But their breaks, by and large, have given really nice splits that they can just go at. It has been a little bit of a dish fest.
Well, he's got himself into a great position here, Shaun. You feel it's a real must-win frame in his second set. I don't think he can afford to get 3 behind Kristi, especially the way he's playing. Wanted to come a little bit further. I think he can play this. The cue ball might just slide into that yellow, but he can get it off the rail. That's fine. Coming across with a black in the left-hand centre. And this for 2-1.
Back in the hunt. Needed that, did Shaun. Excellent finish.
Yeah, he needs Kristi to have a falter with his break. Because at the moment, Kristi does have that little advantage. It's that cushion that it's going to be his break now, 2-1. It's been a thunderous clatter of the balls every time this man has come to the table. And he's always there early. He's never late to the table for his break.
Like a hungry child for his dinner.
Absolutely.
Bang.
Yellows. They're all spread. The yellow that's in the middle of all those reds goes clean. I love his eyes darting around the table, looking for where they've landed in a couple of body swerves to get them into position.
It's a nice first shot. Just maybe come a fraction too far.
No, he's okay. He wants to get rid of that yellow that's near that cushion at the bottom early doors. If he gets that in and the cue ball out into the middle of the table, the frame's history.
Yeah, just feared he might have just left himself too much angle, but no, you're right, he's okay.
Pinch it with some side.
Just needs to ignore all the other balls here. He's going to try and hit a gap.
Yeah, that's not a bad,
I like
bad
that.
shout, because he just thought, right, I won't bother trying to maybe bump into that 8 ball because the ball's over the bag. I can't miss this.
Yeah, I like that route. I think probably a re-route for Kristi with landing on that angle, but either way, I mean, you're not going to grumble with this, are you? It's a great opportunity to go 3-1 in front.
Yeah, he just took moving the 8 ball out of the equation. Everything's very loose now. He's obviously a tiny bit thin than he would have liked on that yellow, but it's okay. I think I pot the one over the one that's over the middle and then play the one down into the bottom left and screw back. We already know where the black ball will be going. Let's just get in position. And he'll take that. He can roll the cue ball into the rail and come back out here as well. So leave himself a fairly straightish black ball into the corner. This for 3-1. And in it goes. Another display of power from Kristi Caulfield.
Yeah, it's power pull, isn't it? These two are proponents of it. Should we have a little shuffle back over to the other arena? Here's Declan Brennan. We're looking to go 3-0 in front. That is lovely. John McAllister not had a look in so far. Declan has been flawless. 3-0 it is. Oh, Shaun, you lucky boy. But he is going to be dry. I can't believe he's not in off, but he is going to be dry.
Well, I don't believe it. That break was dry. I mean, it was a very good hit. But he won't feel he's a lucky boy by not getting any balls, especially at 3-1 down.
Yeah.
With Kristi at the table.
Yeah, and he's essentially on the brink here.
Yeah, he's already chosen yellows. He's just checking he can obviously get through clean to that one over the bag at the top of the table. Taking a bit more time with these. Needs to be a bit more precise with his position. Wants to slow down that cue ball. He's okay, it's held up. If it went too much further, they made it very awkward. So he wants to get rid of that ball over the pocket next. And you can see he can just squeeze through. Oh dear, Kristi.
Wow.
Well, well, well.
Just didn't see that coming. You really just did not see that coming.
This will be huge relief for Shaun Chipperfield should Kristi hand him a go at the table. And you feel the odds are in favour of that happening.
Definitely now.
Not only a go at the table, but ball in hand as well.
Oh, it could be a big moment, that. It really could be a big moment.
Yeah, not happy there, Kristi. It was all there for 4-1. He would have been on the hill. That's the second time I've seen Shaun do that. I wonder if his cue's actually a bit sticky or... I don't think he has a cloth. Quite a lot of players take a cloth out with them when they're in the arena, just, you know, because it can get quite warm out there under the lights. Shaun Chipperfield hanging in. But still, advantage Caulfield. It will be his break in this next frame as Shaun Chipperfield pulls it back to 3-2 in set 2.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Shaun Chipperfield. We'll check in across the water. Other side of the venue, John McAllister finally got a shot in set 1 of his quarter-final with Declan Brennan. He's 3-0 down currently, is John, defending champion, with work to do, especially on this yellow. Well, that just puts the cat among the pigeons. Could be some work to do there for both players in that frame. Worth pointing out as well, a very good afternoon to those of you watching us live on the Ultimate Pool Facebook page right now. Little free view of the second set here between Kristi Caulfield and Shaun Chipperfield. Kristi winning the first set, and if he wins the next 2 frames, he's in the semi-finals, but that break has just deserted him. It's amazing, isn't it, how often that happens after you've made a bad mistake the frame before. That's exactly what has just occurred for Caulfield. Shaun Chipperfield straight to the table, momentum swinger. This to tie things up in the second set for Chippy. A reminder, if you're watching us live on Facebook and you'd like to watch the rest of this match, if it goes to a decider, or indeed the rest of this tournament, we'll have Carl Morris versus Stevie Dempsey next in the 4th and final quarter-final. And then tonight, the 2 semis and the grand final. You can do so by heading to ultimatepool.tv, sign up, get yourself a premium subscription, and you are away to watch the rest of this weekend's action. And also worth doing that because in 2 weeks' time, Tony, where are we?
I'm going to guess at Bolton.
You've guessed correctly, yes. We're at the Pro Series, Women's Series, Challenge Series, Next Gen Series, Senior Series, Team Series. It's all happening in the Ultimate Pool Series in Bolton in a fortnight. We are very much looking forward to that, and you can watch all the very best action live on Ultimate Pool TV. So not just getting your money's worth for half a day here on the Sunday. You get Monday night's Champions League last 16 group. It's tasty. And you'll get all of the Ultimate Pool Series weekend in a fortnight. So Shaun Chipperfield may have himself a tough 8-ball, but he settled for this. This has been his plan right the way through.
He likes the doubles.
He's going to need to. Oh, that's a long way off.
Well, well, well. I was having a discussion with Shaun earlier today, and we were discussing the merits of playing doubles and balls down rails. He said, I always prefer the doubles, especially in the middle, because they're quite easy.
Yeah. Well, he certainly fancied it. That's a terrible shot Kristi just played, mind. He may... Well, he's going to get back to the table here, Shaun. But what's Kristi going to leave him is the question. That double was a long way off from Chippy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have backed Shaun every time to make that double, to be fair. It just seems to have checked back on him. It's quite bizarre.
He's going to take this for a ride.
Yeah, well, there was no value in hitting it softly, that's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. He had a guaranteed hit, so just hit it as hard as you can and hope for the best. Kristi Caulfield gets away with a pretty lax shot there on that first yellow he played. And he might just be under it a little bit here, Kristi.
Yeah.
He's made a couple of mistakes in his last few visits, whether it be off the break or at the table. This might settle him back down, restore some momentum in the Caulfield push for the semi-finals. Winner of this, incidentally, will go on to face the winner of Stevie Dempsey and Carl Morris, which is the next match we'll watch on this table.
Another loose shot.
Yeah, very loose. And all of a sudden, this next shot has got a little bit of pressure on it. He's going to leave the 8-ball if he misses it.
This is frame ball. Played that very well indeed there, Kristi, because he's played a couple of loose ones in this towards the end of this frame.
So this for the hill for Kristi Caulfield. In it flies, and Shaun Chipperfield is on the brink in the Players' Championship. Kristi Caulfield is on the verge of a semi-final spot. Should be the first one in a little while for Kristi. He's locked in. I'll take a check in over on the other table whilst we wait for the balls to be racked here. Declan Brennan won the last frame. So it's 4-0 in the first set to Declan Brennan. John McAllister is struggling to get going in this set. It may just be one now that he almost writes off at 4-0 down and goes, okay, not my set here. Let's get the Q arm going, feel good, and we'll take a bit of momentum into set number 2. Back on the main TV table we come. Shaun Chipperfield is in off the break, and Kristi Caulfield gets his first chance to win the match. I mean, how is he in off in that top corner pocket? Yeah, that is astonishing. Kristi had a bad one in the first set. That's just as bad for Chippy, that.
It is. It's not gone Chippy's way.
Oh, that's tough. Look at the finish he's left as well, Tony.
But he will be ruining the end of set 1.
Yeah, Shaun's a pretty sensible guy. And he'll know, whilst he'll be really frustrated with how that break's gone, he'll know that there were moments where he could have done better. There's been a couple of mistakes.
About the first set, simple as that.
Just avoids the red. He's played a good shot there. Let's play another one here because I don't know if he'll be able to get low enough on the cue ball to do loads with this.
For me, I'd like to plot the one over the bag, push the cue ball into the bottom rail, come up towards those two reds that are stuck together. Just leave cue ball just with a little angle to slide that one down the cushion.
It's a little
That's
short.
okay. Would have liked to come a bit further. If you just cut this in and just get the cue ball to bump into that red that's on the black spot, say, as you look at the table. If he gets that, that's the match.
Oh, it is thin. I think he might cut this one to the middle.
Wow.
Yeah, rerouting. Got to play a cue ball all of a sudden.
Yeah, that wasn't the right shot. I would have rather, even though that cut was thin, is take it on. You had to. It was match ball. Yeah, now.
He can't see the one to the bottom left.
No, he has nothing.
So Kristi Caulfield is going to burn his first chance, is he? Is
oh,
he?
my word, stop
is
it.
he?
How on earth has he just done that? But I'll tell you what, he's still got that thin cut. He's hampered and try and get on the black ball as well. Shaun, he must be thinking, right, I'm going to get ready to come to the table, and Kristi's just done that to him.
What a shot from Kristi Caulfield. If he makes this yellow, he's going to have a shot at the semi-finals.
He's got it.
In goes the yellow, straight in on the 8 ball, and he knows. Kristi Caulfield is an ultimate pool semi-finalist. He vanquishes Shaun Chipperfield in pretty spectacular fashion, in a way that only Kristi Caulfield can. That was a match that went beautifully.